Hello and welcome to this WCBN Sports broadcast of Michigan basketball. The 7th-ranked Wolverines taking on the 9th-ranked Spartans. I'm Evan Oesterle alongside Nate Sorensen. We are going to witness a battle for the share of the Big Ten regular season title and the 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament, which will take place next weekend. Nate, this is a huge game. Tom Izzo called it the biggest in the history of Breslin. What are you expecting tonight?
Well, you said it was going to be a battle, and that's exactly what I'm expecting. I think Michigan's going to come out and play with a lot of heart, a lot of aggression here today. We've seen them rebound quite nicely after that loss to Michigan State. First home loss of the season. They come out, they absolutely annihilate Nebraska in their senior night. They go on the road against the top 20 team in the nation in Maryland and take care of business, win that game handedly. I feel like the team we have seen here has been much different ever since that loss against Michigan State. It kind of maybe got their head straight, gave them a little bit extra passion, and they've looked like a brand new team, and I'm expecting them to come out and play much differently than they did in that first matchup.
Charles Matthews warmed up, but he will not start for the Wolverines, who have point guards Xavier Simpson, Jordan Poole, Isaiah Livers in place of Matthews, Ignas Brazdeikis, and John Teskey. For the Spartans, star point guard Cassius Winston, Aaron Henry, senior Matt McQuaid, Xavier Tillman, and senior Kenny Goins. As we get underway and the Spartans win the opening tip, Winston will bring it up against Simpson. Right away to McQuaid on the outside, back top.
Takes some to get the ball screen.
Winston working until he got the quick switch that he wanted. Gets a screen from now he gets Teskey on 10 on the shot clock. Poole comes to double, and Winston throws away. That's Xavier Simpson up to Jordan Poole up ahead. Contested by Winston, lays it up and in, and Jordan Poole with the first points of the game. Michigan leads 2-0.
Fascinating. The Wolverines come out and switch the ball screens instead of the hard hedge that they did all of last game.
Another switch by Livers. Dumped down low looking for Henry and knocked away again by Xavier Simpson. Jordan Poole came up with it. Simpson will set up on the other end for the Wolverines' first half-court possession. He's guarded by Matt McQuaid.
A brand new strategy for this Michigan defense, switching all the ball screens and then sending double teams at Cassius Winston. Complete reversal of their strategy last game.
Simpson to Brazdeikis for three, and he hits. Michigan leads 5-0 early, and a good start for the Wolverines on both ends as Winston jumps back down the court, but Michigan switching everything could not have been what Michigan State expected.
Absolutely not, and you could tell looking back at that last game, if Michigan did ever switch a ball screen, John Beilein was livid on the sideline. I can't believe he has switched philosophies so drastically here.
Simpson fights through a screen there. Winston down to 5 on the shot clock, gets a screen working against Teskey with 4 on the shot clock. Winston a deep 3 contested by Teskey, no good. Battle for the rebound, Brazdeikis comes up with it. Michigan rolling right now on both ends as Xavier Simpson brings it up, guarded by Aaron Henry. 18-10 to go in the game. Michigan leads 5-0. Excellent defense so far for the Wolverines. Simpson guarded by Tillman. A little reverse layup is blocked by Tillman. Winston comes up with the board, and the crowd gets into it a little bit. Winston quickly back the other way. Gets a switch Brazdeikis on him, down low to Tillman, guarded by Teskey, and Xavier Tillman gets the Spartans on the board, 5-2 now.
What a sequence there for Xavier Tillman. He gets the switch onto Xavier Simpson. The best penetrator for this Michigan team is able to stifle him on the drive. Not many fives can do that against a guard like Xavier Simpson. Simpson
gets a switch, and the little sky hook off the glass. Xavier Simpson's patented shot over Xavier Tillman puts the Wolverines back up 5.
And wow, with Xavier Simpson's performance against Maryland with the sky hook wasn't impressive enough. He comes out, gets it going here early today.
Winston to Tillman, drove on Teskey, draws a foul. That's going to be a quick foul on John Teskey. So Tillman is going to shoot 2. It's 7-2 Wolverines, 17-17 to go. Tillman no good on the first, so it remains 7-2. Colin Castleton going to check in for the Wolverines. It appears that He's passed both Austin Davis and Brandon Johns on the Wolverines' front court depth chart. He played excellent at home against Nebraska, and he appears to be the go-to big after John Teske for John Beeline right now.
And not a big shocker there. Not only did Castleton have a breakout performance against Nebraska, Brandon Johns had an absolutely terrible time stopping these Michigan State big men in the last matchup.
Make the second. So now 4-point game. Simpson puts up a 3, and that's an air ball. Aaron Henry comes up with it. Winston back the other way. He's got wide open McQuaid. McQuaid pumps, passes to Goins, to Winston for 3. No good. Battle for the rebound. Came up with it. Xavier Simpson to Bresdakis in transition. Bresdakis with a jam. Wolverines lead 9-3 now. He's got 5 points already.
Something to be worried about for the Spartans here. Slow start for Cassius Winston, shooting the ball 0 for 2 from behind the arc. He's 1 of 7 in their last 3 games. Not something you're used to seeing out of Cassius Winston.
Winston kicks to Aaron Henry, and Aaron Henry hits a 3-pointer. Back down to a 3-point game.
Speaking of things you're not used to seeing, Aaron Henry making threes. He's the one starter for the Spartans that is not a lethal 3-point shooter, or really any threat at all. That is huge for the Spartans if he is able to confidently shoot the 3 ball.
Just a 30% shooter on the season. Simpson kicks to Poole. Jordan Poole with the answer for 3, right back on the other end, pushes the lead back to 6. 15:50 to go in the first half. 12-6 Wolverines. McQuaid gets a screen, a quick double team by Livingston Castleton. Castleton time to recover back to Tillman. Tillman kicks it out to Henry, working against Poole. Now gives back to Tillman. Winston gets it from Tillman, cuts to the inside. He's guarded by Castleton. Little floater in the lane. He drew a foul. Got Colin Castleton to jump, and we'll hit the under 16 media timeout. Cassius Winston going to shoot 2 free throws when we come back. Michigan 12, Michigan State 6. 15:32 to go in the first half.
That's a tough one right there. It's hard. You always hate to see a guy foul a shooter after that little pump fake and duck into the defender move, but Castleton was really stuck on an island there. When Cassius Winston gets to the elbow, he's as lethal as any player in college basketball. He makes those floaters at just a ludicrously high rate. Castleton had no choice. But
Jordan Poole has 5. Ignas Bresdakis has 5. Aaron Henry and those are their Xavier Simpson. He's done already 4 assists and 2 steals, along with the skyhook finish. Xavier Simpson definitely frustrated in the last game. He had an excellent game against the Spartans, but Cassius Winston still put up a big stat line, and for the last couple weeks he's heard about how State finally solved him. He's definitely been ready for this one.
He heard about it. I heard about it on Twitter. I was very adamant, or very vocal, about my feelings of Xavier Simpson against Cash Winston. It came back to bite me after that last game. But absolutely, for anyone to say that Xavier Simpson was lit up by Cash Winston, I just didn't watch that game. Michigan State had an absolutely brilliant game plan to get Cassius Winston away from Xavier Simpson, and they executed it perfectly. I think Xavier Simpson had to have taken that a lot to heart. People saying that was on him, absolutely wasn't. He's coming out and proving that today. And for this Michigan team, the change in strategy here has been shocking. Every single ball screen last game, hard hedges every time. John Teske jumping out nearly to the half-court line to keep Cassius Winston from penetrating. That would lead the roll man to be open. And really it was up to smaller guys like Iggy Bresdakis and Jordan Poole to come over and help on a big body like Xavier Tillman and Kenny Goins. Those guys were just too big to be guarded by a wing player. Led to a lot of easy buckets for the Spartans. Michigan switching everything. It's a tough strategy to do in college. Normally, a lot of big guys aren't able to stay with a guy like Cash Winston. But so far, we've seen John Teske, a 7-footer with a
is going to look for ways to get him going right out of this timeout.
Absolutely, and still we have not seen the double ball screens. That was really what gave Michigan trouble against MSU last game, and so far I don't know how Michigan's switching philosophy will work against that. It's going to cause some confusion. You have two ball screens, who's going to switch, who's going to stay. Could definitely see that throwing a wrench into Michigan's game plan.
It's been a fast-paced game early. John Beeline's going to keep his same five out there. Colin Castleton in for John Teskey, otherwise the four starters. For Michigan State, Thomas Kithier comes in for Xavier Tillman. Kyle Ahrens comes out there for Aaron Henry. Winston, 2 free throws. First one no good, rattles in and out. A good free throw shooter, that's rare for Winston. 82%, he's 5th in the Big Ten. One more free throw for Cassius. That one does go, so 12-7 now, 15:32 to go. Here comes Xavier Simpson back the other way. Hands off to Poole, hands off to Brazdakis. Back to Simpson now. Gives to Castleton in the high post. He hands to Livers. Now Brazdakis gets Goins to jump, but doesn't do anything with it. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Brazdakis drives into the lane. Tough finish it goes. Brazdakis 3 of 3 in the field. He's already got 7 points. Wolverines lead 14-7 as we hit the 15-minute mark. McQuaid working against Isaiah Livers. McQuaid gives to Winston. Winston gets a screen from Kithier. Drives in against Castleton. Good pass out to Ahrens. One more pass to Kenny. Goins for 3. No good. Long rebound. Goins comes up with it. Swings it to Winston. Open in the corner. Throws it up to Goins. Wanted to shoot. It's blocked by Xavier Simpson. Crowd wanted to foul. A wild sequence there. Simpson ahead now to Isaiah Livers. Pulls up in transition. Brazdakis is feeling it. Pull up 3 is good. Ignis Brazdakis. 10 points already. Puts Michigan up by 10. He is 4 of 4 from the field. He is on fire.
You think he's feeling it right now? I'm surprised we didn't see more of a reaction there from Iggy. A little bit more showboating. A very tepid reaction after that one.
He is locked in. Had a rough game at Wisconsin in January. Cassius Winston travels. It's going to go back the other way for Michigan, and Michigan State has struggled to start out early. Michigan on fire offensively, but back to Ignis Brazdakis. He struggled against Wisconsin on the road early in the season. He's had some spotty bad games, but he's still this team's leading scorer, and he's had overall a really good freshman year.
He absolutely has, and he's a guy that I'll admit I've been very hard on him this season, but he has more than deserved his share of, I would say, award recognition.
Poole, a tough step back 3 doesn't go. Winston back the other way. Goins gets it, drives in, stripped by Jordan Poole. It's going to be a race to the basket. He loses it for just a second. Crowd wanted to travel. Gives to Simpson. Simpson gives back to Poole. Michigan will settle into their offense now.
Well, I was trying to say that I couldn't spit out. I think Iggy has deserved the recognition, putting on the Wooden watch list, all of that. He's been so good for this team, and they really need the offense this entire season.
Tried to feed into Castleton. That's another turnover. Winston back the other way. Drives against Isaiah Livers. It's going to be a foul on the floor. Already 5 turnovers for the Spartans. 2 for Winston, 2 for Goins, 1 for McQuaid. Not like Tom Izzo teams to turn the ball over this much. Michigan State, 3 turnovers in just the last 2:22. They've also haven't scored during that stretch. Michigan has made 4 of their last 5 shots.
Absolutely isn't like Michigan State, and that is a huge change from the previous matchup. MSU only had 6 turnovers that entire game.
McQuaid got hit on the 3. Crowd wanted a foul. Doesn't go, but Tillman with the putback on the offensive board cuts the lead back down to 8. Crowd not liking the refs so far. A lot of these have been tough calls, though.
But with a raucous crowd like this, normally those 50-50 calls go to the home team.
Looks like they called a foul on the screen. Castleton set a screen for Poole, and they're going to say Kithier fouled Poole trying to fight through that screen. So that's the first team foul on the Spartans. Michigan has 3 fouls so far. Poole swings to Brazdakis, swings to Simpson. Simpson working against Tillman. Crossover, drives in, blocked by Tillman. That's the second time already that Tillman's blocked Simpson underneath. Gets it to Winston in transition. Poole picks him up.
And both times after Xavier Simpson's gotten the switch onto him and tried to break him down on the perimeter, Tillman has just been excellent here.
Winston's step back mid-ranger goes over Jordan Poole. Cuts the lead down to 6, 17-11. 12-10 to go in the first half. Michigan State going on a little mini run right here. Simpson gives to Brazdakis. It's stolen away there. Tillman fouled. Can't finish the layup. A bad foul there by Brazdakis. Got lucky that Tillman missed it, but Xavier Tillman going to shoot 2 free throws. Has a chance to cut it to a 4-point game with 12:01 to go in the first half.
And I see a lot of fans in this crowd calling for an intentional. Well, I don't know how you could think that. I wish Iggy had fouled them harder there. It was really just a touch foul. Very fortunate that Tillman didn't finish off that shot there. If you're going to foul on the fast break like that, you got to get your money's worth and not allow even a chance at a bucket.
Tillman no good on the free throw. Not a great free throw shooter. He's now 1 of 3 today. One more. So hit the under. Michigan State on a 5-0 run. Simpson hands off to Poole. Poole to Brazdakis. Iggy gets a quick screen from Castleton, but no switch. Drives in against Henry. Up and high off the glass. Ignis Brazdakis cannot miss. He's 5 of 5 from the field. He's got 12 points. Michigan State is, and Michigan leads by 7.
Absolutely incredible stuff by him. That you can't get too much tougher of a shot than the one he made right there. He's still just so calm and collected. Going up off a bad angle there, gets it to go. Excellent execution there.
McQuaid drives in against Simpson, throws it up. They're going to say out of bounds. Crowd wanted a foul. McQuaid did not get the call. So 11-17 to go. Michigan leads 19-12. Izzo is irate. He is screaming at the officials. Interesting there that Tom Izzo sent in Foster Lawyer to give Cassius Winston a quick little break before that under 12. Foster Lawyer, the freshman point guard, stands at about 6 feet tall, similar height to Xavier Simpson. He plays sporadically, but a quick in right there, and he didn't do much besides pass the ball.
Yeah, they're going to have to get Cash Winston some breaks here. They got to manufacture it. He played every minute of the previous matchup, and they've needed him on the court for all of those 40 minutes. He's really crucial. He's their entire offense. And very good work there to know by Tom Izzo that immediate timeout's coming up. Give him an extra minute or so break, knowing that it's going to be a quick, it's going to be a quick time until the immediate timeout's called. I'm sure Cash is going to be right back out there now after this break. But yeah, that's going to be tough for MSU to survive while he's not out on the floor, because everything goes through him. They come down, they set a ball screen for him, he prods the defense. He really creates for everyone on this team. I can't think of what exactly the numbers are, but it's nearly, I think pretty much he's the only one who gets assists for this team. Not a whole lot of guys can create on their own. He pretty much spoon feeds everyone their buckets. And really lost.
Thank you.
Down. He's really the only true creator that they have. And injuries, Josh Langford and Nick Ward possibly both done for the year. 2 starters for the Spartans, 2 key players. Kyle Arms also got hurt, but he has played tonight already, and that's going to be a key for the Spartans is keeping the guys they have healthy down the stretch. Michigan also dealing with an injury to Charles Matthews. He's not played yet tonight. Missed the last 2 games due to injury, and he was in and out of the game against Michigan State the first time at home. Matthews dealing with a sprained ankle.
Yeah, and that injury did occur during their last game. There was an injury. It looked like he was going to be out for that entire game. It happened in the first half, comes out, plays nearly the entire second half, but clearly did not look like himself. It was really struggling, ended up with a very poor game, sat out after that. I can't imagine he's really all that close to being healthy. We heard about him walking around in a boot after that game. I don't know. I don't know why you would risk him coming into the game unless it's absolutely necessary. This team has got a lot of basketball yet to play this season in March. I can't imagine trying to risk aggravating that in this game. Even though this game means so much, there's still a lot more for this team to play for.
Becomes a question that's been talked about all week by both Michigan and Michigan State fans. How important is this game really to both teams, both dealing with injuries? You've still got the Big Ten tournament. You've still got the NCAA tournament. There is a banner on the line here, but it's for a share of a Big Ten title with Purdue, and that means a lot, obviously, to the players and the programs and the fans, but that doesn't come close to what a Final Four would be for both teams. As David DeJulius checks in, Eli Brooks as well. Teskey comes back into the game, so almost a full new 5. Isaiah Livers and Jordan Poole still out there, but a Brooks DeJulius lineup for John Beeline. Foster Lawyer is still in the game for Cassius Winston, so an extended rest for him. They got a switch on to Teskey, and Lawyer fouled him as Winston checks immediately back into the game.
I'm surprised he wasn't out there to start that break. They couldn't have seen Teskey being out on the floor, but you got to imagine, even with Cash Winston in the game, Michigan is going to seek that mismatch.
Absolutely. DeJulius inbounds it to Poole. It's Winston, McQuaid, Henry, Goins, and Tillman for the Spartans, so back to their starters. DeJulius, a contested three-pointer, no good. Tough shot there as Tillman was up in his face on the screen. Winston to Henry now in transition. Henry into the lane. They're going to call foul on the floor. I think that's on Isaiah Livers. If it is, it would be his second. It is, so Beeline going to his bench. He's going to send Ignas Brazdeikis back into the game. Brazdeikis, 12 points, 5 of 5 on the day. He also has 1 foul, though, so fouls already starting to become a factor for the Wolverines. 5 team fouls.
And that's a tough one right there. Livers did bump him with the body, but that's one normally a lot of refs let go.
Inbound to Winston, guarded by Brazdeikis. He put up a floater, no good. But Aaron Henry, the offensive board, and that's now becoming a factor. The offensive rebounds and putbacks for the Spartans cuts the lead to 5. It's 19-14, 10.5 to go in the first half.
Definitely big part of MSU's game in the second half of the first matchup of the season. MSU had 4 offensive rebounds in that second half, led to 8 second chance points for him.
DeJulius drives and kicks to Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole, his second three-pointer of the day. He has 8 points. Brazdeikis and Poole combined with 20 of Michigan's 22 points. Winston gets a switch, Brazdeikis on him, into the lane, no good. That's 2 on Brazdeikis now. It looked like pretty good defense, and Winston kind of pushed off. Nonetheless, the foul does go on Brazdeikis. That's a 16 foul, his second, so it'll be interesting to see what Beeline does here now with that situation.
And I would say Cash Winston absolutely pushed off there. He extended that left arm into Ignas's body. I cannot believe that didn't go, or they let that go. And now, even more surprising, Beeline is not. Oh, there is.
Brandon Johns coming in. This is going to be an interesting lineup for the Wolverines. Johns from East Lansing gets booed by the hometown crowd, but Teskey and Johns out there together create some spacing problems offensively, and defensively limits your ability to switch.
I've not seen Michigan go with a lineup this big in the entire season.
Both free throws go. 22-16, 9:50 to go. It's DeJulius, Brooks, Poole, Johns, and Teskey for the Wolverines. A really interesting lineup. Teskey hands off to Brooks. Thought about shooting, did not. Throws a risky pass back outside to Teskey. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Brooks does put up a 3. Eli Brooks, a huge three-pointer for the Wolverines. Extends the lead to 9. A quick stop right here. Not sure what happened on the floor.
Well, the Michigan bench celebrating definitely came out onto the court. That may have been the concern.
So maybe a sideline warning from the officials there for the Wolverine bench. That means if they come back out on the floor again, it'll be a technical foul, but a huge three for Eli Brooks. He struggled offensively all year as Henry gets in the lane, floater no good. Poole comes up with it, throws a pass to DeJulius, nearly taken away. DeJulius' layup is blocked on the other end. Now a fast break the other way, Winston for three, and that is an air ball.
Wow, struggles for Winston continue here. He's a guy that shoots nearly 50% from behind the long line. To struggle this mightily early on is surprising. That was another shot right there. It's a pull-up. Those aren't easy shots, but that's a very makeable shot for Cash Winston to just only catch air on that one. Really wild.
Poole steps back for three, in and out, no good. Would have been his third three-pointer of the game. Goins with the rebound, gives it to Winston quickly, ahead to McQuaid. McQuaid tried to get it back out to Winston. A loose ball on the ground. It's finally picked up by DeJulius. DeJulius drives in, fouled by Winston, and he completes the and one. David DeJulius. The crowd is furious. Tom Izzo's furious, but that's going to count. Wolverines have their first double-digit lead of the season against the Spartans. It's 27-16. 8:34 to go in the first half.
And that is only the first foul on Cash Winston, so he'll definitely be staying in the game. How about the hustle there by Eli Brooks getting on the floor, forcing that loose ball to pop out to David DeJulius there, leading to that fast break opportunity.
No good on the free throw for DeJulius. There have been a lot of tough plays down low on loose balls, lots of turnovers, offensive rebounds for both teams. It's a hard-fought game, but Michigan's getting the shots so far and playing excellent defensively so far. Xavier Simpson at the scorer's table. He'll come in next, that ball. Goins for three. A huge one for the Spartans ends the Wolverines run. It's 27-19 now as we tick down to just over 8 to go in the first half.
Even when Cash Winston is cold from the field, he still demands so much attention. Teskey was just a half step too far away from Goins, helping off ball.
Poole with the tough mid-range jumper, pulls up and he hits that. Jordan Poole with 10 points. And now back on the other end, Cassius Winston draws a foul from Brandon Johns. State is in the 1-and-1, so Winston will shoot a 1-and-1 after the under 8 timeout. It's 7:49 to go in the first half. Michigan leads 29-19. The Wolverines shooting 63% from the field. They've made 5 of their 9 three-pointers. Michigan State has 6 turnovers, but Michigan State is winning the rebounding battle 11-4. What stuck out to you so far?
Really, what Michigan's done here is just make all their shots. Not a whole lot more to it. I just saw Jordan Poole down on the offensive end make a very tough, low percentage shot, a pull-up mid-range jumper. Really not something you want to see. That's maybe not a trend that's going to continue. The three-point shooting has been very hot. So far, everything's going right for the Wolverines, making all their shots. Cash Winston can't get anything to go. You can't imagine that this is going to stay, or this course is going to stay throughout the game. At some point, something's going to have to revert back to the mean here. Either Cash Winston's going to start making more shots, or Michigan's going to start missing.
Yeah, you would assume that 63% from the field, 56% from behind the arc isn't sustainable. Cassius Winston, you mentioned, struggling a little bit. He's missed all 3 of his threes. He's 1 of 5 from the field overall. 3 assists. Michigan State in the 1-on-1. Both Isaiah gets on the bench with 2 fouls. And with the John Beeline auto bench policy, you assume neither of them see the floor for the rest of the first half. But if Teskey or Johns picked up another foul, Beeline's not really going to have a choice unless Charles Matthews is in.
Absolutely not. We're definitely going to have to. We're going to see what the status is of Charles Matthews here today, because with these fouls going, I think needing Matthews is an inevitability here at this point. Fouls have been, the refs have been very quick with the whistle to call fouls here so far. It's going to be very tough for a not very deep Michigan team. But hopefully Michigan can, maybe use that quick whistle to their own advantage here. Maybe try to get Cash Winston isolated on a switch onto a big man. Take it to him there, down there in the low post, because Winston gets in foul trouble here. Michigan State's going to be in just as much trouble.
We've seen Foster Lawyer for just 1 minute so far. He picked up a foul and looked a little bit timid on the offensive end, to say the least. And like you've said already, Cassius Winston so critical to everything that this Michigan State team does. He's probably going to be first team All Big Ten. He's a National Player of the Year candidate. And for the Spartans to still be in the top 10 despite missing Josh Langford and Nick Ward for long stretches of this season is just, you got to credit Cassius Winston, the seasons he's had, the junior from U of D.
Cassius Winston at the line for Michigan State.
Incredible year for him, and well-deserving of all the accolades he's going to take home. 1-and-1 here. Winston hits that free throw. He was 3 of 4 before that on the day. That puts him at 4 of 5. He'll get the second half of the 1-and-1 here. Try to cut it to 8. Both of those do go. It's 29-21. 7:48 to go. Simpson brings it back up. Brooks to Poole. Into Teskey. Teskey picked up his dribble, has to pass it out to Simpson. Simpson thought about shooting, drives in, and he does draw a foul on Cassius Winston. That's 2 fouls on Cassius Winston, and Tom Izzo is going to have a decision to make. There's still 7.5 to go in this half. Foster Lawyer does go to the bench to check in. Winston going to head to the bench, and that might be for the rest of this half. That is not good news for the Michigan State Spartans. Both teams dealing with foul trouble already. Simpson inbounds to Teskey, cuts inside. Eli Brooks couldn't make the easy layup, but beat Foster Lawyer to the spot. Lawyer in transition now.
Yeah, tough by Brooks not to get that one to go, but you already see the liability that Foster Lawyer creates for the Spartan defense.
Goins up top to McQuaid. McQuaid swings that out to Lawyer on the wing. Lawyer working against Xavier Simpson. Simpson went for the steal. Lawyer gets into the lane now. Lawyer falls down, and they're going to call a foul on Jordan Poole, who is going for the steal. They're going to say pull him down.
Michigan foul on 3, Xavier Simpson. That's his first personal.
They're going to say it was on Xavier Simpson, not Poole. That's his first. Lawyer's going to shoot a 1-and-1 now. That's 18 fouls on the Wolverines.
Wow, I don't know how on earth that could be a foul on Xavier Simpson. It looked like Lawyer just slipped on the court on his own.
Lawyer does make the free throw. That cuts it to 7. It's 29-22, 7:06. One more free throw coming up for Lawyer.
It definitely just lost his footing. Did almost a splits there. Maybe they thought Simpson tripped him, but that's a tough foul to pick up here.
Lawyer averages 1.4 points per game. He has 2 points now as he makes both free throws. Here comes the Izzone. They cut it down to 6 with Poole 3. Now he takes it back out to Brooks. Poole guards in. Ball tipped to Poole's have to get up. Xavier Simpson working against Henry now. 10 on the shot clock. Simpson drives in. He slips. Kicks it to Teskey. Mid-ranger rattles in, and a wild possession there ends with 2 points for the Wolverines. Lawyer quickly back down the other way. McQuaid pump. Three-pointer. No good. Eli Brooks with a good rebound. Xavier Simpson back the other way. Now he's going to pull it back in a wild stretch there, but it results in Michigan leading 31-23, 6:20 to go. Simpson into the lane. Reverse layup. That goes. Michigan back up by double digits, 33-23.
What a move there by Simpson to go right at MSU's best perimeter defender, Matt McQuaid, and get a bucket there. That's a tough one. One this team needed after a hectic offensive possession the last time around.
Tillman up top to Lawyer, guarded by Eli Brooks. Simpson guarding McQuaid. McQuaid drives into the lane. Has to kick it out to Lawyer. 7 on the shot clock. Lawyer gets a screen from Tillman. Lawyer. Goins for 3 with 2 on the shot clock. No good. Teskey with the easy rebound. And Michigan in full control right now.
It's very tough for the Spartans without Cash Winston on the floor. Foster Lawyer is really not a guy you want driving into the teeth of a defense. That's why Matt McQuaid tried to step up and do it there on his own. The problem is he is just not equipped to do that. He is really a spot-up shooter only, and he's excellent at that. Just not really a guy you want creating on his own.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Simpson drives in. He's blocked for the 3rd time today by Xavier Tillman. Foster Lawyer back the other way. Lawyer's going to shoot a three-pointer. They need it. No good. Johns tips it to Eli Brooks. So we hit the 5-minute mark. Wolverines still lead by 10. Michigan State struggling to create without Cassius Winston. They haven't scored in over 2 minutes.
MSU managing to hang on due to stellar defense. Absolutely incredible perimeter defense by Xavier Tillman. The big man has been matched guys step for step on the perimeter.
He's guarding Eli Brooks, and Brooks misses a mid-ranger there on a pull-up, and more good defense from Xavier Tillman. He's knocked a couple balls away. He created a steal and a foul in transition. He's been a beast underneath. He's blocked Xavier Simpson 3 times. Matt McQuaid working against Poole, gets a screen from Tillman. McQuaid has to give it up to Goins. Down low, Tillman, and a double team by Brooks, knocked it away. That's 7 turnovers by the Spartans in the first half. And Tom Izzo's got to be frustrated right now.
And now Michigan, they have got to get something going and keep the ball away from Xavier Tillman.
Simpson drives, and that's a foul on Foster Lawyer. So now he's got 2 fouls, and it'll be interesting. Jordan for the Cashman's 7 points, but he's stuck on the bench with 2 fouls.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine we're going to see Cash Winston anymore in this first half. I don't think Izzo cares how many fouls Lawyer picks up, because unless Winston fouls out of this one, I can't imagine Lawyer's coming in the second half. But so far here, Michigan State continuing on the defensive end to switch everything. Same thing they did in that first game. Now Michigan struggled mightily against that last time. They have seemed to figure it out here. The only problem is they continue to treat Xavier Tillman on a guard on the perimeter as a mismatch. That is clearly not the case. He has not allowed anyone by him so far, even a guy like Xavier Simpson, who is really an elite penetrator, has gotten absolutely nothing on him. If Eli Brooks manages to get Xavier Tillman on him, he should not be the one shooting the ball like he did on that last possession.
Wolverines have 10 points off 7 Spartan turnovers. They've turned the ball over just twice themselves. The Spartans created 3 off those 2 turnovers, but MSU is winning the rebounding battle. They have 14 total rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds. They've scored off all 2 of those 3, 4 second chance points. That's really been their one area of strength. It's pretty much Wolverines across the stat sheet the rest of the way. They've got 12 points in the paint to the Spartans 6, 9 fast break points to the Spartans 5. MSU does have 4 blocks, I believe all by Xavier Tillman so far. He's been a beast down low. Michigan, the average is just 70.7 points per game. They already have 33 with still 4 minutes to go in the first half. It's been a fast-paced game for sure, and normally you would say that benefits Michigan State, but Michigan seems to be playing well in a more up-tempo game, and that's something that you like to see if you're John Beeline, that your team can adapt as we move into the Big Ten tournament, the NCAA tournament, when you've got the quick turnaround games against teams who have totally different styles.
Yeah, everything has been topsy-turvy here. They always say when it's Michigan versus Michigan State, you can throw everything out. Well, the first game, it was a very slow-paced game, a real defensive battle almost. And that's something you would normally expect to favor Michigan. Well, it favored Michigan State that last time around. Now we're playing an up-tempo, fast-break heavy game. That is Michigan State's style. That's where their bread and butter is. Well, Michigan's been the one capitalizing on that here so far. It really doesn't make any sense that both games have gone really the opposite of what you would expect. But here we are with Michigan up 10 points here in the first half.
It looks like Tom Izzo is going to stick with Foster Lawyer despite him having 2 fouls. It'll be Lawyer, Kyle Arns, Thomas Kithier, Aaron Henry, and Kenny Goins for the Spartans. Xavier Simpson, Eli Brooks, Jordan Poole still out there for the Wolverines. Colin Caston checking for Teskey, and Brandon Johns also still out there. Johns playing extended minutes for the first time in several games. There's 5 fouls on Michigan State, so Simpson not shooting off that on Lawyer, and Castleton's got Lawyer on underneath. Simpson couldn't get the ball. Poole gets drive against Henry. Turnaround to the Charles lane. Oh, Castleton tips it up, but Arns came up with it. Lawyer quickly to Aaron Henry in transition. Good pass down low to Kithier, but a double team kicks out Lawyer. Arns drives in against Brooks, nearly lost it. And a tough play underneath, and the crowd doesn't like the call. The ball was stripped away by Eli Brooks, and then he threw it off Kithier. Not sure if Brooks stepped on the baseline there as he was trying to save the ball, though.
I actually think the ball went off of Jordan Poole's shin there, and I think that's what it looked like to me, at least. I don't know. Didn't get a good look at that replay there. It was an odd angle.
McQuaid checking in for the Spartans. Not sure who will come in for. Simpson drives against Lawyer. A great finish from Xavier Simpson extends the lead to 12. That's the largest of the game for the Wolverines. 35-23. 3 minutes to go here in this first half. Lawyer gives to Goins. Goins working against Brandon Johns. Goins inside to Henry. Henry against Poole. Tough floater, no good. Battle for the rebound just between Wolverines. Castleton comes up with it. Him and Brooks were fighting for it. Castleton gives to Xavier Simpson.
That's the toughest battle for a rebound we've seen this entire game. It was between two teammates right there. I love the tenacity by Brooks. He's been really a monster on the defensive boards for the Wolverines. Not something you'd expect, but you should have just let that one go.
Two very tough rebounds for Brooks, and he's also tipped a couple others to teammates. Simpson no good on the three-pointer. Arns comes up with the rebound. Here comes Foster Lawyer. We're under 2.5 to go in the first half. Wide open is Kithier. Brandon Johns got lost in transition, and an easy two there on the dunk. Cuts the lead back down to 10.
That's a tough one right there, but that was a defensive mishap we saw all the time in that first matchup. Really the first one that's, or at least the first glaringly obvious defensive lapse by the Wolverines here tonight. So far, so good in that department.
Poole drives against Kithier. Poole step back mid-ranger. He's been good from there today, but no good. Arns comes up with it. Lawyer back to Arns in transition. Good drive to the hoop, and a great finish from Kyle Arns. The crowd loves it. It's back down to single digits. 35-27. A minute 35 to go. Here comes the crowd. They're gonna be loud until halftime.
And there's a slap of the floor by Arns.
John Beeline takes timeout. And this crowd has gotten real loud really quick. 35-27, a minute and a half to go. A quick 4-0 run for the Spartans brings the Breslin Center to its feet. And this last minute and a half is going to be crucial for the Wolverines. They played so well in this first half, and if they see that lead get erased before halftime and down to 4 or 5 points, it would really hurt.
Definitely, especially with Cash Winston off the floor. You just cannot allow Michigan State to go on a run. And these are minutes Michigan should dominate. And so far, they have been getting mismatches. Castleton has been down low in the post with Foster Lawyer on him. That is at least a 1-foot size disadvantage for Foster Lawyer there. And Michigan just has not gotten Castleton the ball. Jordan Poole has done so great these past few games because he has started to do a little less. And I feel like he's done just a little bit too much here now. He's trying to look for his shot when there are mismatches on the floor Michigan can take advantage of. Right now, I'd like to see pretty much anyone other than Jordan Poole take a shot here.
A minute and a half to go, 22 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound to Simpson, a minute 25 to go. Simpson drives in, gets a quick switch. And Simpson throws the ball away. Crowd goes wild. A minute 17 to go. McQuaid bringing it up. Foster Lawyer to the bench for the Spartans. Henry gets a handoff from Tillman. Down low, Xavier Tillman. A huge slam in the lane, cuts the lead to 6. It's 35-29. This crowd is fully on its feet. This is the loudest it's been all day. 54 seconds. Wolverines should probably look to go 2 for 1 here. Poole gives to to DeJulius. DeJulius drives against Tillman. Another block by Xavier Tillman. That's his 4th block of the game. 5th for the team for MSU. 35 seconds left. 13-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And this Spartans crowd is going absolutely wild. The Spartans have cut the lead to 6. It was 12 just a couple minutes ago. A 6-0 run over the last minute 46. The Spartans have made their last 3 shots. Wolverines just one of their last 7.
And now, I mentioned how Michigan had not had any defensive lapses so far here. Right there's another one. There is absolutely no Spartan Michigan double team besides Cash Winston. Right there. Now I can't even recall who that was there at the high post. Gets double teamed, just not a spot on the floor you expect a double team. Leaves a wide open Xavier Tillman under the basket. That absolutely cannot happen for the Wolverines. To play so well for 18 minutes and then completely lose their defensive soundness here has been an absolute killer for Michigan.
I believe it was Aaron Henry at the top that you were talking about. Got the quick double team and he found Xavier Tillman right away. And like you said, the Wolverines built a 12-point lead, and with Cassius Winston on the bench, really a chance for them to go into halftime with a double-digit lead, in control on the road, and Michigan State has cut it to 6 here. 34.1 to go. Again, 13-second difference between shot clock and game clock, so the Wolverines will get one more shot. McQuaid up top. Henry drives against Poole. Tough finish in the lane, no good. Another offensive rebound, but lost out of bounds, and Aaron Henry came up with it. I thought it was off of Aaron Henry. They're going to say it was off Jordan Poole instead, so it'll stay with the Spartans for the last shot of the half now. 23.1 on the clock.
I thought that was off Henry as well, but most 50-50 calls have gone Michigan's way here, I would say, in the first half. One's bound to go the other way at some point.
McQuaid inbounds to Goins, and the Spartans will hold for the last shot. McQuaid playing the point guard role right now with both Lawyer and Winston on the bench with 2 fouls. Down to 10 on the clock. McQuaid gets a screen from Goins. Now gets a screen from Tillman. And they're going to call a moving screen on Kenny Goins. Tom Izzo is screaming at the referee, red-faced and all. That's the first on Tillman. He is not happy. Eli Burke's going to check in for DeJulius. So the Wolverines have 6.5 seconds to get a shot off of their own now.
And now MSU has an assistant standing up, talking to the ref too. I don't know how Izzo gets away with some of the stuff he does. I gotta say,
he's got the longest leash of any coach in the country. Simpson to Poole. 4 on the clock, 3 on the clock. Poole, step back 3-pointer. No good at the buzzer, so we will go to halftime. 35-29, Michigan leads at the half. 50% from the field in the first half. Michigan State just 41%. Foul trouble for both teams. 2 for Isaiah Livers and 2 for Bresdakis for the Wolverines. Meanwhile, Foster Lawyer and Cassius Winston each have 2 for the Spartans. They're 2 point guards, and Michigan State kind of escapes with a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes. They were down by 12 at one point with Cassius Winston on the bench, but they go into halftime and still have something to fight for.
Absolutely, and that's tough for Michigan. Like I said, minutes where Cash Winston is not on the floor need to be minutes that Michigan wins. Granted, Michigan was not playing their best lineup with Brandon Johns and David DeJulius in the game, but that is just really not excusable. Very tough there for Michigan to not win those minutes, but still, Michigan here with a 6-point lead at the half. This is a dream scenario for Michigan fans, you got to think. To come in here, a hostile environment, and this crowd has been absolutely electric, and Michigan still has put up about as good of a performance as you could expect in the first half.
We will be back in about 10 minutes. Again, Michigan leads 35-29 here at halftime. Ignas Bresdakis 12, Jordan Poole 10 for the Wolverines. Xavier Tillman has 8 for the Spartans to go with 4 blocks and 4 rebounds. We'll be back in a little bit. For Nate Sorensen, I'm Evan Oesterle. We are back for the second half. I'm Evan Oesterle alongside Nate Sorensen. Michigan leads 35-29. It could have been more, but Michigan State with a big run to close out the half. 6-0 with Cassius Winston on the bench, got back into the game. Nate comes in a little bit upset after a quick discussion about Tom Izzo and his discussions with officials that he has from time to time. But overall, a good half by Michigan, except down low. They got killed on the boards and 5 blocks for Michigan State, led by Xavier Tillman. How much does that worry you for the Wolverines in the second half?
Well, it's tough because on one hand you have Michigan, who's been playing very big lineups, really uncharacteristically big lineups with Brandon Johns and John Teske or Colin Castleton, or 2 of those being on the floor for most of that first half. Not usually does Michigan have that much size on the court. You would expect that to help a lot in the rebounding game. But also, Michigan State's been shooting a lot of threes. They took 22 shots. 10 of them were three-pointers. They only made 2 of those. That means 8 missed threes that create long rebounds. It really doesn't matter how much size you have if the rebound's out by the three-point line. So it's really tough to say. I mean, that's just a bad break, but normally a few bad breaks doesn't lead to a 20-8 rebound disparity. That's a little much for the Wolverines. That's maybe just something they got to work harder at. Maybe anticipate those longer rebounds more. I mean, when you see a three-point shot go up, you've got to expect a long rebound. That's just on them, maybe a little bit there. And to go back to the Izzo thing, you see, when a guy's down there, he's yelling at the refs every time. I don't know why that helps a team. I would think that a ref would get sick of that. They would not give that team the benefit of the doubt, but you see Izzo has been in the ear of the ref the entire game. Guess what? Michigan State has shot 12 free throws in that first half to Michigan's 1. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the fouls, I don't know what the total amount of fouls yet, ended up only being 6 fouls on MSU to Michigan's 8. And really not a huge disparity there, but I mean, it's made a huge difference. That Michigan State has been able to get those fouls called on shots, get to the line. That's what's kept them in this game here for the most part. And it's been really tough for Michigan because they've had, I mean, they're only 2 wing players, and Isaiah Livers and Iggy Brazdakis out of the game without Charles Matthews, who hasn't played so far. I can't imagine he's going to play at all in this game if he hasn't so far with those 2 in foul trouble. Michigan just has no bodies on the wing with those 2 in foul trouble.
You mentioned the foul trouble. Ignas Brazdakis, 12 points on 5 of 5 in the first half in just 9 minutes because he did have that foul trouble. Isaiah Livers, 0 points, 0 rebounds. He did play for 7 minutes, played well defensively, had an assist, but he also has 2 fouls. Cassius Winston, 2 fouls for the Spartans. It's certainly going to be a factor. We hit the bonus very early in the second half. In the first meeting between these 2 teams in Ann Arbor, around the 12-minute mark, both teams were already in the bonus. If that's the case tonight, there's going to be a lot of players fouling out, and it's going to have to be some unsuspected players playing hero for both sides if we get the same whistle that we did in the second half of the first meeting between these 2 teams.
Absolutely. And Michigan State, not a team who aren't going to the free throw line a whole bunch. Cash Winston shoots 82%. McQuaid shooting over 80%. Tillman, a big man, shooting 73%. Goins, 75%. I mean, really anyone can shoot free throws for this team. And the worst of their starters is Henry, who's shooting at 68%, which is really nothing. I mean, that's what LeBron James normally shoots. It's really not that bad. It's going to be tough for Michigan if it becomes a parade to the free throw line for the Spartans.
We are just about ready to get started here in the second half. Again, Michigan leads 35-29. I'm Evan Oesterle alongside Nate Sorensen. This is WCBN Sports Radio, Michigan Student Sports Radio's call of Michigan basketball taking on Michigan State. And we got caught up in the game first half because it was so intense, so entertaining, but there is a Big Ten championship on the line tonight and the 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament. Huge stakes. Both teams giving it their all on the court. It's going to be a fun hour or so in the second half as these 2 teams, 2 rivals, 2 great coaches, tons of great players, battle it out here in front of this sold-out Breslin crowd on senior night.
Now Michigan, they're going to bring back their 5 starters out on the floor. Hopefully Isaiah Livers and Iggy Brasdakis can stay out of foul trouble. It's going to be crucial for Michigan. Without Charles Matthews, I mean, these guys are really taking up a lot of the load for Michigan. They're either going to have to play those uncharacteristic 2 big man lineups or the 2 point guard lineups. Really not something Michigan wants to do if those guys are not able to play.
The Spartans come out and they all slap the floor in unison. It's the 5 starters for both teams. Simpson, Poole, Livers, Teskey, and Brasdakis for the Wolverines. Winston, Henry, Goins, Tillman, and McQuaid for the Spartans. Simpson hands off to Brasdakis, working against Goins. Fade away for Brasdakis, and it goes. No, John Teskey with the follow-up. It rolled off, and Teskey tapped it in. Brasdakis' first miss, but the Wolverines with a quick offensive rebound putback. They lead by 8.
Yeah, Iggy with the Kobe assist right there. He may have been able to dump it to Teskey for an open shot, but he knew if he just got it up on the rim, Teskey was going to be able to tip it in.
Winston passes to a wide open Goins, and Goins hits the 3, cuts it down to 5 right away. It's 37-32. Cassius Winston gets involved right away. The quick assist. He had to sit much of that first half, the back half of it at least, the last 8 or so minutes. Teskey swings it to Brasdakis in the corner. Brasdakis drives in. Tough finish at the rim. No, but Teskey another tip-in off the glass. John Teskey, 2 offensive rebounds and 2 tip-ins for the Wolverines. That's their first 4 points of the second half.
Excellent work by Brasdakis there again to see the closeout coming too hot, to drive in there, draw the MSU defense's attention, and allowing Teskey to get the easy tip-in.
Matt McQuaid, the putback and 1 off the Cassius Winston miss. Xavier Tillman had the ball down low against Xavier Simpson, chose not to go up with it, kicked it out to Winston, no good off the front rim. Matt McQuaid follows, and I think that was on Jordan Poole. No, I think it was on Isaiah Livers actually, so that would be his 3rd.
It sure looked like it was on Livers.
They are going to call it on Jordan Poole, so that's a lucky break for the Wolverines actually, as Livers does not pick up his 3rd. 39-34, 18:32 to go. McQuaid makes the free throw, completes the end one. It's now a 4-point game, 39-35. The closest it's been since Cassius Winston went out of the game with about 8 minutes left in the first half.
And there we go, already the offensive rebounding of MSU causing problems for Michigan here.
Livers nearly lost it. He's guarded by Goins. Drives in, step back, mid-range jumper, no good. McQuaid comes up with it. Chance to cut it to a 1-possession game here for the Spartans. Winston. Livers comes out. Cassius Winston gets a screen from Tillman. He's guarded by Teskey. Swings it all the way across the floor. Wide open is Aaron Henry for 3. No good. He hit one earlier, but not really a 3-point shooter. Excuse me, he missed one earlier. Not really a very good 3-point shooter for the Spartans. Simpson drives in, missed the layup, comes up with the offensive rebound. 39-35, 17.5 to go. Poole gives to Brasdakis, back to Simpson, to Teskey now. Teskey working in the high post, swings it to Livers on the wing. Livers on the left wing against Winston. Livers into the lane, has to kick back out to Teskey for 3, and that's an air ball. John Teskey doesn't even come close. He scored the first 4 for the Wolverines, but on much closer attempts than that one, so Michigan State ball back the other way.
That's 2 possessions in a row now where Isaiah Livers was trying to ISO and create on his own. I mean, besides Teskey, he's the last person on the floor Michigan wants creating there. The ball's got to end up in the hands of somebody else initiating the offense.
Winston gets double teamed momentarily. Kenny Goins for 3. No good. Another offensive rebound for the Spartans. Xavier Tillman, he's been a beast today. He's got 5 rebounds, 5 blocks to go along with 8 points. Winston gives to Tillman. Tillman missed the dunk. He went in too hard. Just a little bit too much energy right there. In transition, the Wolverines. Simpson, Livers, no good for 3. Henry comes up with the rebound. Winston back the other way.
And now Michigan switching back to the hedging strategy on the ball screens here.
Winston drove in, had it blocked by a combination of Breslin and Teskey. Breslin drives in. He's fouled by Goins. The crowd didn't like the call, but Breslin is going to shoot 2 free throws. 39-35 still, 16:24 to go in the second half. Both teams have missed their last 4 field goals. Neither team has scored in over 2 minutes. Brezdakis' time at the free throw line today. He was 2 of 2 in the first half, making that 3 of 3. Sorry, this is his first time at the free throw line today. He made 2 3-pointers in the first half on 2 attempts. He's now 1 of 1 from the free throw line. He's got 13 points. 14 points. He's 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 41-35. 16:20 to go. Winston hands off to McQuaid. To Tillman. Back to Winston. Winston's got Teskey on him. Mismatch right there. Winston drives in against Teskey. Tough layup at the rim, and that's going to be a foul on John Teskey as he went for the block. His second foul. 3 of Michigan's 5 starters now 2 fouls.
That's a tough one right there. I don't not see a whole lot of contact there. It had to have been with the body, but Winston had the step on Teskey. He falls to the ground. I don't know. Maybe Teskey got a little push in there at the lower body, but it's a tough foul.
Winston's first free throw is good. Thomas Kithier checking in for Xavier Tillman. Tillman has been the key for the Spartans so far today. He's got 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks. He's been a beast at both ends down low. Both free throws go for Winston. It's back down to 4. 41-37, 16:07 to go. Up comes Xavier Simpson. He hands off to Isaiah Livers. Livers swings to the Costa Brezdakis. Brezdakis drives in, kicks out. Wide open is Xavier Simpson for 3 from the corner. Well short, just off the front of the rim. Goins gives it to Winston. Winston back to Goins in transition. Here's McQuaid, gets a screen. Winston now has it, gets a screen from Kithier. Simpson recovers. 15 on the shot clock. Michigan State's going to reset. Kithier comes out for another screen. Simpson fights through. Winston swings it across the floor, but out of bounds. Matt McQuaid and Winston with a bit of a miscommunication there. That's turnover number 10 for the Spartans. 41-37 at the under 16 minutes. Timeout. 15:30 to go in the second half.
Uncharacteristic bad pass by Cash Winston right there, but excellent work by Michigan to force him into a bad position there. So far you can see the chess match going here. Michigan still is switching on those ball screens there, and MSU is trying to get every single time down the floor. They're looking to get Cash Winston on John Teskey, and so far it's been working out for him here. Teskey has done a great job for a center, but it's just incredibly hard for him to keep up with a guy like Cash. And so far, now we saw in that last possession, they get the switch, but Xavier quick runs over, they switch. As Teskey's still guarding Winston on ball, that's really a tough maneuver to pull off. You're leaving a guy open there. Something that MSU might be able to exploit there with those two guys switching. A tough move right there for this Michigan defense.
We have not had a made shot in over 3 minutes of game time. The Spartans have missed their last 4. The Wolverines have missed their last 5. Michigan now shooting 44% for the game, 36% from behind the arc. Meanwhile, Michigan State 38%, 21% from behind the arc. Michigan State's taken 15 free throws to the Wolverines 3. Michigan 2 of 3. Michigan State 12 of 15. What's your evaluation of the refs so far?
Hey, same old, same old. I still don't really agree with that one call there when Cash Winston just went for the line, but you got to give it to Michigan State. They keep penetrating. They keep taking into the paint. That puts the onus on the refs. I mean, you're in the paint, you're going to draw fouls. That's just how it works. And Michigan so far has been a little tentative on offense, settling for jump shots. Isaiah Livers with the mid-range pull-ups. I mean, that's just not what Michigan needs. They need to get into the paint at the rim, get things going there.
Michigan State, 10 turnovers to just 3 for the Wolverines. Michigan has created 12 points off those 10 turnovers. That's been huge for the Wolverines, but the Spartans out-rebounding Michigan 26-14, including 6 at the offensive end. And Xavier Tillman, of course, leading that charge. He's got 5 rebounds. Kenny Goins also has pulled down 8. Ignas Brezdakis, a team-high 3 rebounds for the Wolverines. They've struggled in that department. Brezdakis also a team-high 14 points. Xavier Simpson, he's had several shots blocked. He's also 0 of 3 from 3, 6 points, 3 of 10 from the field, 0 of 3 from behind the arc. He does have 5 assists and 2 rebounds, but Xavier Simpson struggling to score the ball a little bit after an excellent performance last time.
Yeah, that's not Xavier's game, and 10 shots for him are just a few too many. I mean, that last three-pointer, it came wide open in the corner within the flow of the offense. That's one he simply has to take, but it's not the shot Michigan wants, clearly.
41-37, Michigan leads, 15 and a half to go. We welcome those of you who are just tuning in. Just about ready to get play started here once again. Colin Castleton checks in for John Teskey. It's Castleton, Ignas Brezdakis, Livers, Poole, and Simpson for the Spartans. Matt McQuaid, Kyle Arns, Cassius Winston, Kenny Goins, and Thomas Kithier. Ignas, step back jumper, maybe pushed off Kenny Goins, but gets the mid-ranger to go, extends the lead back to 6. It's 43-37, 15-12 to go.
That's a tough shot right there. Iggy gets it to go. He has just been absolutely incredible so far here. Michigan needs to keep getting him more shots.
McQuaid kick out, Kyle Arns, no good. Another offensive rebound for the Spartans. That's 7 for them. Winston drives, could not finish the layup. Brezdakis back the other way. Brezdakis maybe thought about pulling up, but he'll kick it out to Simpson, who will reset. 14:45 to go. Michigan leads 43-37.
And there we go. That's a tough one off a three-point shot again. Those long rebounds, but that's simply one right there. Livers just didn't have his body on Goins.
Castleton, a little fake and drives in an easy layup. He totally faked out Kyle Arns, who thought he was going to kick it out. Lead back up to 8 for the Wolverines, 45-37. Winston gives to Arns. Arns working against Brezdakis. Hands off to McQuaid. Another handoff to Winston, who gets a screen from Kithier. Winston drives in against Castleton. Winston gets it to go, and the foul, so he's going to go to the line. Colin Castleton, very soft defense underneath. Looked like he couldn't decide if he wanted to foul or not.
That's another one. I'm going to have to see the replay here, but it looked like Winston extends that off arm. Yeah, Winston extends the off arm into Castleton, yet he draws the foul. I don't understand that one bit.
That's the 3rd team foul on the Wolverines already in this half. 2nd on Castleton. He's the 4th Wolverine with 2 fouls. Teskey, Brezdakis, Livers all have 2. Winston makes the free throw, cuts it down to 5. 45-40. Cassius Winston has 11 points, 12 points now. He's 8 of 9 from the free throw line. We are at the 14-minute mark of the second half. Michigan leads 45-40. Ignas Brezdakis has it. He's going to shoot a three-pointer. He's going to hit a three-pointer. His 3rd of the game. He has made all 3. Brezdakis has 19 points already for the Wolverines, despite playing just 9 minutes in the first half. 13:40 to go. Michigan leads 48-40. Tillman hands off to Winston. Now Goins inside. Dumps it off to Tillman, who couldn't handle the pass. Winston now trapped in the corner. Dumps it off to Tillman. Went up for the dunk, but had to kick it out to Goins, to Arns. Now McQuaid up top for 3. Matt McQuaid gets a huge three-pointer for the Spartans. That's his first three-pointer of the game. He's got 6 overall on his senior night. 48-43 now, 13:10 to go.
Yeah, what excellent ball movement by the Spartans there. The ball never stopped there, just kept bouncing around, and they find McQuaid, who's going to make that shot more often than he's going to miss it.
Ignas misses a floater in the lane. McQuaid drives, and it looks like he got tripped up by Brezdakis. That's going to be 3 on Ignas Brezdakis. A tough call right there. 12:57 to go in the game. Brezdakis with 3 fouls. Looks like Beeline's going to let him stay out there for the moment. Nope. Jordan Poole's going to check in for Brazdakis.
I swear it looked like McQuaid tripped over his own feet there.
So Brazdakis, tough call like you said, going to sit at least until the under 12 media timeout. McQuaid down low to Tillman, working against Teskey, cutting his arms. Kyle Arns cuts it to a 3-point game. Here comes the crowd. Michigan State has battled their way back into this. They're 3 of their last 3 field goals. Brooks, Simpson, a couple little quick little handoffs. Poole back up top to Xavier Simpson. Simpson swings it to the corner. Livers into the lane. Good drive and a good finish from Isaiah Livers. A big run stopper for him. Back to 5. Winston quickly back down the other way. Winston. Great pass down low to Tillman off a double team. Knocked away by Xavier Simpson. The crowd wanted a foul. They're not going to get it. We hit the 12-minute mark. It's 50-45. Simpson setting up the offense, standing right next to John Beeline, who's on the sideline. Simpson hands off to Poole. Poole drives against McQuaid. Poole, little step back mid-ranger, no good. Teskey tips it up. Grabbed by Winston. Winston finds a wide open Kenny Goins for 3. Kenny Goins again! His third three-pointer of the game. Makes it a 2-point game, 50-48, the closest it's been since the first minute of the game. Xavier Simpson now gives to Livers. Livers to Poole. Poole working against Matt McQuaid. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Here we go. Jordan Poole. Screen from Teskey. Poole into the lane. Tough finish with the left. No good. It looks like Kenny Goins might have blocked it. Here comes Cassius Winston the other way. A chance to tie or take the lead. Winston to McQuaid. Working against Livers. They're going to settle in and reset now. 10:50 to go. Michigan leads 50-48. Winston passes down low. Tillman went up. Looks like a foul on Jordan Poole on the shot attempt. So we hit the under 12 media timeout. 10:47 to go in the game. Michigan 50, Michigan State 48. 2 free throws for David Tillman coming up.
And Iggy Brazdakis just walked over to the scorer's table, checked himself in. Michigan needs him right now. Without him on the floor, they cannot get anything going on offense. And they've struggled here just a little bit on the defensive end. Now MSU, they have made 4 of their last 4 field goals. I mean, that's tough right there for Michigan. There have been some defensive lapses. It looks like they're getting a little confused. And Xavier Simpson wants to stick on to Cassius Winston. So they are still switching. Then Simpson wants to switch back quickly. And it's caused some miscommunication and led to Winston finding some open men underneath for easy buckets.
Michigan has led for the first 28 minutes and 46 seconds of this game. No ties, no lead changes. Xavier Tillman's going to have a chance to tie the game up out of the under 12 media timeout for the Spartans. And that rebounding deficit finally catching up to the Wolverines. Michigan State out rebounding Michigan 30-15. Michigan has not gotten the shots to fall in the second half. They're just 6 of 16, 37.5% from the field, 1 of 4 from behind the arc. Michigan State has stopped turning the ball over, just 2 turnovers in this half compared to 9 in the first half. But Michigan can't get their shots to fall. Michigan State's made their last 4, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point game.
UPS.com to learn more. UPS, official logistics company.
It's tough here for Michigan. The rebounding differential is absolutely crucial. It's what's keeping Michigan State in this game. To double up a team in rebounds is a tough thing to do. It's really a miracle. Michigan has the lead. The way the rebounding margin has gone here, it's just been a failure to box out. Too often, it's tough here when you're switching. It's not always clear who your man is. Sometimes you get lost. You've got a smaller guy trying to box out a bigger guy. Well, and that just comes down to personal effort. If you've got a bigger guy on you, you just got to get your butt into him and drive him out of the paint. It's going to come down to just playing with more effort, wanting it more here for Michigan to clean up the defensive glass.
Michigan State so far this half leads 19-15. It's 50-48 Michigan on the scoreboard, but Michigan State made good adjustments at the half. It's going to be up to John Beeline in the last quarter of this game to adjust back and get something going offensively, and more importantly, get stops on the defensive end. Cassius Winston, so critical to this Michigan State team, has been excellent creating for them. He has 5 assists to go along with 12 points. He's just 2 of 9 from the field, 0 of 4 from behind the arc, but he's gotten to the free throw line. He's made 8 of 9 free throws, and if some of those jumpers start falling for Cassius Winston, he's going to be in full control here.
Absolutely. Well, Michigan's been absolutely selling out to stop Winston so far here. That's what's led to other guys getting open shots. Goins got a wide open 3. McQuaid got a wide open 3. Those are guys that are going to knock those down just about every time. They're remarkable knockdown shooters, and I understand the strategy here by Michigan. You've got to sell out to stop Winston. He's not a guy you want to let beat you, but Michigan State has guys that can knock down those shots if you're going to give them to him.
Winston had 27 points, 8 assists in the first meeting between these two teams. 6 of those points came from the free throw line late in the game, but an excellent game for him overall. Tillman hits the first. It's a 1-point game now, 50-49, 10:47 to go. The closest it's been since the first minute of the game. Tillman gets both to go. We're tied for the first time since 0-0. 50-50, 10:47 to go. Crowd comes to their feet. There's a Big Ten championship on the line tonight here at Breslin between these two great rivals. Xavier Simpson swings it out. Teskey open for 3. Another air ball. Brazdakis touched it on the way out of bounds. It's going to be Michigan State ball back the other way. 10:33 to go.
Can't really question the shot selection. It looked like Michigan drew that up to go to Teskey, and they got him an open look. He just doesn't get rim at all. But I really got to question at this point. I feel like whenever Ignas Brazdakis is on the floor, he's got to be getting all the shots.
Yeah, Brazdakis, 19 points, 7 of 10 from the field. He's been excellent. Teskey 0 of 2 on his 2 3-pointers. Cassius Winston bangs in a 3-pointer. A little bit, he's not going to carry that. His first one today, he's 1 of 5 from behind the arc. He's got 15 points, and now it really is the whole crowd on their feet. 53-50, Michigan State, their first lead of the game, nearly 3/4 of the way into this game. Pulled to Xavier Simpson. Michigan needs something to stop this run. It's a 13-2 run. Teskey gets it inside. It's going to be a foul called on Kenny Goins as Teskey was fouled on the way up.
I think that was actually underneath on Henry there. The foul was going to be.
It was on Aaron Henry. That's his first. Michigan State's made their last 5 shots. They're on an 8-0 run over the last minute 49, a 13-2 run over the last 3:35. 2 free throws coming up for John Teskey. He's not shot free throws yet. He's got 6 points on the day, 3 rebounds. His impact has been limited. Free throw goes in off the back rim, cuts the lead to 2. It's 53-51, 9:50 to go. One more free throw coming up for Teskey. Ignas Brazdakis, you mentioned, should be getting the ball more often. He's got 19 points, 7 of 10 from the field, 3 of 3 from behind the arc. As the second free throw goes for Teskey, Michigan has to look to get him more shots as this game winds down.
The last couple of possessions, he's just been sitting in the corner, and the guy who's been that lethal so far here, at least use him as a decoy, working off ball, something.
Henry was guarded by Brazdakis, gives to Simpson. Winston drives against Simpson. Winston gets the floater to go. It's back to 3, 55-52. Winston has the last 5 for the Spartans. They're up 3, 9:20 to go. Simpson thought about the 3 for a second, does not take it. Simpson swings to Poole. Pump fakes, gives it back to Simpson. He's got Xavier Tillman on him up top. 7 on the shot clock. Simpson drives in, left-handed skyhook, no good, off the glass. 9 minutes to go now. Michigan State leads by 3.
there again, Iggy was just standing off ball with Cassius Winston on him. That's a mismatch. Michigan has got to get him the ball, give him an opportunity then.
Winston lob up for Tillman. It goes off the glass. Aaron Henry, comes up with it. Little turnaround floater in the lane. Michigan State up 5, their largest lead of the game, in full control right now. 8.5 to go. Kick out. Isaiah Livers for 3. No good. Rebound Kenny Goins. Michigan State in transition. Winston. It's going to be a charge on Cassius Winston. He ran into Jordan Poole in transition, and Michigan really needed that. Michigan State leads 57-52, 8:24 to go. Michigan State's laid their last 7 field goals. Michigan's starting to fall apart offensively here.
Yeah, and I think that a large part of that is due to them just not getting the ball to Iggy. I just got to get him some shots here, but I got to love Jordan Poole there stepping up, taking the charge. It looked like a very clear charge to me. I'm still surprised they gave Jordan Poole the benefit of the doubt. With how many whistles have gone in Winston's way so far here.
Simpson drives in, no good. Michigan's missed their last 6 shots, and then a foul on John Teske on the rebound. Kenny Goins grabbed it. Teske's third. That's 16 fouls, so Michigan State is now in the bonus the rest of the way. Meanwhile, MSU has just 3 fouls. Michigan State leads 57-52, 8:12 to go. Things starting to slip away from the Wolverines here.
And that's a tough one for Teske. Swipes at the ball and just happens to get the face inadvertently, but that's just a dumb play to swipe at the ball that far away from the basket.
Cassius drives in. Layup. That goes right by John Teske. It's 59-52. 7:50 to go. John Beeline wants a timeout. Calling Xavier Simpson over. He does take a timeout, and this crowd is going wild. 59-52, 7:45 to go. Michigan State has made their last 8 shots. Meanwhile, Michigan just 1 of their last 8 shots.
Got to tip the hat here right now to what Cash Winston's doing. That 3-pointer may have been pure luck, but that's all he needed. He needed to see one go through the hoop to get his confidence back. He has been absolutely unstoppable going to the rim right now. Working the floater, getting right by the bigs of Michigan. Really not a whole lot John Teske can do when he has to guard Cash Winston. He's gonna get the better of that matchup more often than not.
Michigan State has out-rebounded the Wolverines 34-15. State struggled in the first half with turnovers. Michigan shot the ball at a real high clip, but in the second half, State stopped turning the ball over. Michigan shooting just 30% from the floor, and all of a sudden, Michigan State leads by 7.
Definitely the disadvantage on the boards has hurt the Wolverines today, and it's really been kind of what I was saying also in that first half is kind of a regression back to the mean. Michigan State just couldn't get anything to go. Well, guess what? Cash Winston's feeling it now, and he's probably going to ride this hot streak for the rest of this game. I can't imagine he's going to keep missing as many buckets as he did in that first half, and now Michigan has gone cold. And a lot of that's due to poor shot selection, but they just aren't getting the same shots they got to go in the first half so far in the second.
Michigan is 6 of 20 from the field in this half. Meanwhile, Michigan from behind the arc. Just 2 turnovers in the second half. Michigan hasn't turned the ball over in the second half. That's not the issue. They just can't get a bucket, can't get layups to fall. 1 of 6 from behind the arc, and getting killed on the glass at both ends. This crowd has been absolutely electric. A sold-out crowd on senior night for the Spartans. Didn't expect anything differently, but you wonder if the environment, the atmosphere is starting to get to the Wolverines as this game has really turned. It was an 8-point lead for Michigan that turned into a 7-point lead for Michigan State, and about 7 minutes of game time, if that. And all of a sudden Michigan needs a run of their own just to get back into this game.
Definitely, and Michigan's had chances. When you have the lead in the second half, if you come down, you make a bucket, you silence the crowd. They just have not been able to do that. And I can't really harp on it enough. I mean, Iggy Brazdeikis has 19 points on 10 shots. He needs way more than 10 shots so far in this game.
He's shooting 70%. The team is shooting 42%. I mean, you take him out, the team is shooting barely 30%, if that. He's only shot the ball twice in the second half.
Yeah, it's ridiculous he does not have the most shots on this team. Jordan Poole with 11, with 4 makes. Simpson 3 of 12. I mean, those guys should simply just not have more shot attempts than Iggy Brazdeikis.
Charles Matthews with some motivational words for the team as they broke the huddle. It looks like he's not going to play tonight. Battling a sprained ankle. Of course, Josh Langford and Nick Ward both likely out for the season for the Spartans. Neither of them playing. Livers gets the ball from Simpson.
Teskey's got Winston. They're one-on-one down in the post. They're just not getting him the ball finally.
Brazdeikis finally does get it to him. Teskey made it, but it's going to be a travel before the layup went. Beeline is furious with the official, and now we'll hit the under 8 media timeout. A long stretch of break here. Teskey is upset with the call. John Beeline is furious with the call. He's got to be careful not to get a technical foul here. Being held back by assistant coach Sadie Washington, but 59-52, 7:25 to go at the under 8 media timeout. It looked like Michigan finally got the bucket they needed, and a tough travel call on John Teskey.
And it looks like he took one step there. I don't know how you call that one a travel, but the call's the call. That's a backbreaker for Michigan. I mean, there is still, it feels like this game's slipping away out of Michigan's reach, and that time is running out. There are still 7 minutes, 25 seconds to play here, and they're down 7. They've been in a better position earlier in this game. I mean, really not a position they'd want to be in, but there's still plenty of time in this game. They're playing a little bit in Canada, not quite no time yet. This team can get buckets in a hurry. He just couldn't be stopped. And the way Jordan Poole played 2 minutes of their first, and you know that Michigan can get buckets in quick order, and they just really need to take a deep breath. I know it's tough with this crowd. That's probably why they're playing with such anxiety, but they just need to get their composure, take a deep breath, and play like there's still 7.5 minutes left to go in this game.
14 fouls for Michigan. Michigan State taking 18 free throws. Meanwhile, just 9 fouls on the Spartans. Michigan has taken just 5 free throws. It's been a tough whistle for the Wolverines. That continued on that last possession with the Teskey travel call. Michigan's 4th turnover of the game, but first of the second half. It has gotten very loud in here down the stretch. But Michigan, as you said, still very much in this game. It feels a lot worse because they led for the whole first half, the first 9 minutes of the second half, but Michigan's still very much in this game despite the big run that Michigan State's on. They made their last 8 shots. Michigan, one of their last 8 shots. They just need to get a couple to go and they can get back in it.
Absolutely. It's tough, especially with Cash Winston going. He's on a roll. It makes things feel even tougher, like you're in an even bigger hole. But this Michigan team still has plenty of time here, and they got to get back to doing what they were doing in that first half to stop Cash Winston, switching and just trusting big guys like John Teskey to get stops on the perimeter. They've been doing too much moving around and not just trusting their guys to play one-on-one defense against them, and that's been a problem here. It's led to some confusion, a little bit too much moving around. It's got Michigan off kilter on the defensive end.
Winston gives to Henry. Back to Winston. Goins, Winston up top. 15 on the shot clock now. Winston lobs up. Xavier Tillman on the alley-oop. It's now a 9-point lead for the Spartans. 7 minutes to go. Michigan running out of time here. They need some scores and stops. Michigan State's made their last 9 shots. They're going to call a foul underneath on Aaron Henry. That's Henry's second foul. 4th team foul, so Michigan still not in the bonus. Michigan inbounds, Brazdakis drives in. Tough defense from Goins. No good again. Battle for the rebound. Goins comes up with it. They're going to call a foul on Brazdakis underneath. That's 4 fouls on Brazdakis, so he's probably going to have to go to the bench with 6:42 to go. It's going to be a 1-and-1 for Michigan State.
Oh, man, that is, that's a loose ball there. It's a 50-50 ball. The guys are fighting for it. And I don't know if they're going to get him for over the back on Goins, and Goins wasn't necessarily boxing out. He was straight up and down after contesting that shot. Hard to call that over the back. It's just 2 guys fighting for the ball.
Xavier Tillman, first of the 1-and-1 goes. Michigan State in the bonus the rest of the way. It's Michigan State's first double-digit lead of the game. 62-52, 6:42 to go. Michigan State's on a 17-2 run in less than 5 minutes. Both free throws go. It's an 11-point lead for Michigan State. The largest lead of the game was 12 for Michigan with 3 minutes left in the first half. Another slap at the floor by Matt McQuaid. It's the last time that he's going to do that on this court. Poole drives, steps back, drives. Just anything to go down. Michigan State brings it back up. Winston working against Xavier Simpson.
And that's tough right there. 2 good shots for Iggy in a row. Can't get him to go, and he's been their only reliable source of offense here.
Winston tried to throw it all the way across the floor to McQuaid in the corner, tipped out of bounds by Isaiah Livers, so Michigan State will have 11 on the shot clock, 6:05 to go. This game is far from over, but Michigan struggling right now. Michigan State's made their last 9 shots. They're on an 18-2 run in 5.5 minutes. Winston drives in, floater, everything going for Michigan State right now. Extends the lead to 13, largest lead of the game for either team. Simpson brings it up 65-52, 5:45 to go. Brazdakis to Simpson in the corner. Simpson back up top to Brazdakis, drives past Goins, contest underneath by Tillman. Brazdakis is going to go to the line for 2 free throws.
I love the aggressiveness by Iggy there. He misses 2 shots in a row, still stays just as aggressive, goes to the rim, draws the foul there. And on the other end, I don't know what you do about that by Cash Winston. A shot cannot be harder than the one he just made right there.
Brazdakis' free throw goes. It's back down to 12, 65-53, 5:35 to go. Big Ten title on the line here at Breslin. Michigan led for the first 28.5 minutes of this game. It's been all Michigan State since then. Brazdakis misses the second free throw, so it remains a 12-point game. 5.5 to go. Goins, McQuaid. McQuaid gets a screen from Tillman. Back up to Winston. Winston swings it across the court. Henry, McQuaid for 3. No good. Battle for the rebound. Simpson comes up with it. They're going to call a foul on Ignas Brazdakis. He fouls out of the game with 5:10 to go. It's going to be a 1-and-1 The Michigan coaching staff is furious. They're asking them to look at the monitor, and I don't know what they want them to look at. Fouls are not reviewable. They might want them to change it, but Michigan in big trouble here. 65-53. Looks like Ignis Brazdeik is done for the night.
Right there, it looked like Iggy was boxing out. He's maybe stuck the hip out just a little bit too far, but for a guy with 4 fouls, that's rough. That's a
Michigan State on a 12-1 run over the last 4:24. They've made 10 of their last 11 shots. Michigan has missed their last 8 shots. They just cannot get anything to fall. Not a layup, not a jump shot, nothing. Meanwhile, Michigan State bouncing everything in off the rim, just can't miss. This big run started with the Cassius Winston bank 3, and nothing has changed. Eli Brooks checks in for Brazdeikis. Not exactly ideal for matchups for the Wolverines. It's going to be a 1-and-1 for Aaron Henry.
Yeah, well, without Charles Matthews, the options are limited for D-line, but Eli Brooks being the 5th starter right now, not really the best option for Michigan.
Tillman 6 of 8 from the free throw line, make it 7 of 9. Back to 13 for Michigan State. The second free throw would be for the largest lead of the day. Xavier Tillman has been excellent. He's got 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks. No good. So it remains at 13, and then a foul on Aaron Henry on the rebound. Jumped up into Isaiah Livers. That's his 3rd, 6th team, so Michigan not shooting free throws here, but they will on the rest of the fouls that happen in this game. 5:09 to go. Michigan State leads 66-53. Michigan needs a bucket. Brooks rolls the ball up. Xavier Simpson picks it up across half court. Swings to Brooks, now to Poole. Michigan is not a team that plays quickly offensively, so a big deficit like this hurts them. Poole for 3. Jordan Poole hits. It's back down to 10, and a quick timeout for John Beilein. He's got 1 left. Tom Izzo still has 3 left, but Michigan really needed that one. It's 66-56 now, exactly 5 minutes to go.
Well, it looks like we're going to see the Jordan Poole from the last 2 minutes of that first game now here, starting with 5 minutes to go, and I absolutely love to see it.
Just pull up every time?
I was criticizing his shot selection just a minute ago, I know. But without Iggy in the game, Jordan Poole is the guy Michigan needs to step up. He's really the only guy that can create instant offense for this team. Granted, I know that Xavier Simpson, John Teske, Isaiah Livers are good offensive players. They are on the same level for creating their own shot that Jordan Poole is. They're certainly not from behind the arc. And we know Poole can get hot in a hurry. Michigan's going to need him to be hot here. And still, it's a 10-point game with 5 minutes left. This is far from an insurmountable lead here.
Winston brings it up. We're under 5 minutes to go. Michigan State still has a 10-point lead. Winston, screen from Tillman. Tillman's got a mismatch with Eli Brooks underneath. Henry drives in, has to kick to Goins. Back to Winston, 15 on the shot clock. Winston working against Livers. Winston into the lane against Isaiah Livers. Tough floater, no good. Tillman came up with it, just 5 on the shot clock and never hit the rim. 4 on the shot clock. McQuaid, a tough 3, no good. Battle for the rebound. Xavier Simpson comes up with it. Simpson tried to throw it ahead to Jordan Poole. It's stolen away by Xavier Tillman. That one hurts the Wolverines.
That's a miscue you just cannot have. With less than 5 minutes to go, down double digits. Right there was an opportunity for Michigan to really swing the tide, and instead they shoot themselves in the foot.
Michigan State going to work this clock all the way down. Winston with 5 on the shot clock, 4 minutes to go in the game. Winston pulls up for 3, no good. Battle for the rebound, another offensive rebound for Aaron Henry and the Spartans, and that's the story of this game. Winston drives in, floater, that goes, back to 12. Simpson brings it up, 3:40 to go. He threw the pass away on the last possession, led to the 42nd possession and the 2 points for Michigan State. Might have been the dagger. Brooks drives it in, reverse layup goes. 3.5 to go. It's a 10-point game.
Well, Michigan, they're going to have to start playing with some more urgency, force MSU to do something here. They're really laying back, letting the Spartans drain the clock. That's just something they can't have right now.
Henry kicks to McQuaid, pump fake over Brooks. No good on the three-pointer. Battle for the rebound. Out of bounds. They're going to say it went off of John Teskey. And Michigan State has just absolutely dominated the boards. 41-17. They've won this rebounding battle and 11 offensive rebounds. Michigan just has not rebounded the ball, and in the first game they couldn't stop the double picks, the pick and roll. Michigan State just tore them up offensively. In this game, Michigan's defensive scheme has been fine. They just can't finish possessions and get rebounds.
Yeah, it's been a really just abysmal effort. It's hard to win with the 22-7 discrepancy in free throw attempts, but you can complain about the refs all you want in this game. You're simply not going to win a basketball game being out-rebounded 41-17. That is absolutely a ridiculous margin to lose on the boards, and a lot of it has just been hustle. MSU was hustling so much more on the offensive glass, and Michigan's just not working, not playing like it's a rivalry game, like they're on the road, like there's a Big Ten title on the line. The effort is not here.
Absolutely falling apart in the second half. They led by 12 with 3:12 to go in the first half. Michigan State was able to cut into that, cut it to 6 at the half. It was 35-29 then. It was back and forth for the first few minutes of this second half. Michigan pushed the lead to 8, and since then it's been all Michigan State. 39-23 overall in the second half. 68-58 they lead on the game. They've shot 52% from the field in the second half. Michigan has made just a third of their shots, 8 of 24. Michigan State has out-rebounded the Wolverines 21-9 in this second half, and things are starting to look pretty grim for the Wolverines. 3:10 to go. They trail by 10. Cassius Winston, another incredible game. 23 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. He does have 4 turnovers, but he has created shots in the lane in the second half, and he's done it in superstar fashion for this Spartans team. He's made just 7 of his 16 shots from the field, but 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Ignas Brazdeikis going to finish the day with 20 points on 7 of 12 shooting, 3 of 3 from behind the arc, 4 rebounds, but just 22 minutes because of foul trouble. He played just 9 minutes in the first half, fouled out a few minutes ago in the second half, and one of the questions John Beeline's going to have to answer in this post-game press conference is, why didn't Brazdeikis get more shots? Why didn't you bring him to the bench when he had 4 fouls? He was the hot hand early, and he kind of got taken out of it when he got in foul trouble.
Absolutely. He was Michigan's offense here today. Not a whole lot going for any other Wolverines. Jordan Poole has put together a solid game for himself, but I'm just simply not on the level that Iggy Brazdeikis was playing. If he was able to play more than just 22 minutes, hard to say how different this game would be.
If the result holds, Michigan State will split the regular season Big Ten championship with Purdue, and then they'll be the 1 seed in Chicago next week. Michigan would be the 3 seed behind Purdue's number 2 seed. We will bring you all of Michigan's games from Chicago. YouTube.com/WCBN Sports. 3:10 to go here. Henry inbounds it to Goins. Winston just going to hold it and dribble out as much of the shot clock as he can. Take another late shot clock shot. Swings it to McQuaid. Henry drives in and draws a foul on Brandon Johns. 9th foul of the half on the team. 2nd personal for Johns. Henry has not taken a free throw yet today. He's got 7 points overall. 2:54 to go. Henry's first free throw goes. It's an 11-point lead for the Spartans, 69-58. Henry's second free throw, no. Brooks comes up with the rebound. Xavier Simpson bringing it up. He's got to go with some urgency, more urgency than he's playing with right now. 2:45 to go. Simpson kind of drove himself into the corner. Now he's going to drive to the basket. Layup is blocked by Aaron Henry. Winston slowing it down. DeJulius is going to check in. Not sure if this is for Eli Brooks or if he's checking in for Xavier Simpson as a white flag from John Beeline. Poole coming on the double team. Winston able to get it to Goins, get it to Tillman. What? I don't know if Jordan Poole touched Xavier Tillman, but they called a foul. That's the 10th team foul, so it's double bonus. DeJulius checking in for Xavier Simpson, and this might be John Beeline waving the white flag.
Michigan foul on 2, Jordan Poole. That's his 2nd personal.
Poole's 2nd. Still not sure what exactly the foul call was. Tillman's going to shoot 2 more at the line, 2:18 to go.
Yeah, Jordan Poole was getting up in Tillman's face, but and that's just what you would expect late in the game. Here, aggressive on-ball pressure. I didn't see any contact.
Tillman, 8 of 11 from the free throw line. Tillman, 9 of 12 from the free throw line. He's got 17 points. Michigan State back up 13, 71-58, 2:15 to go. DeJulius brings it up to Brooks, to Jordan Poole. Michigan's got to go quickly if they have any chance. Poole, deep 3, no good. Goins with the good defense. Winston comes up with it. 2 minutes to go. Winston crosses half court. DeJulius playing tough defense on him, but it's not going to matter here. 1:50 to go. Michigan State, as Winston drives in, layup, no good. DeJulius comes up with the rebound. DeJulius back the other way to Livers. Quick three-pointer. That does go. It's back down to 10. 71-61, 1:32 to go. Inbound into Winston. Trap in the corner, but he's able to get it to Goins. Now another trap. Winston able to get it across half court. Winston trying to self-foul. Still has not gotten a call. Michigan still trying to trap. Throws it wide open. It's Matt McQuaid. That's the dagger. (73-61). Michigan State leads, a minute left to go. Poole drives in. Layup goes. Timeout for John Beeline. 73-63, 52.5 to go. Michigan State in the driver's seat. Looks like they're going to split this regular season title with Purdue. Michigan going to get swept by their rivals. Tough way to go into the Big Ten tournament.
Absolutely. It's tough to see really the lack of effort, really the lack of urgency from this Michigan team. They did not come out here playing like there was a Big Ten title on the line. They didn't play like it was a rivalry game. Really looked like Iggy Brazdeikis came out ready to play. That was about it. Do I think the officiating had an impact on this game? Absolutely. I mean, Brazdeikis only getting to play 22 minutes and fouling out is absolutely having to supplement some of those minutes. But to put this entire outcome on officiating would be wrong, right? To be more than double the board is absolutely embarrassing. Right? 43-19. This cannot happen. You're not going to win a game that way. And that rebounding is all about effort. It's all about passion. It's about wanting it more than your opponent. Michigan has not wanted it more than Michigan State here today.
Michigan State is going to improve to 25-6 on the season. Michigan will drop to 26-5. The Spartans will finish 16-4 in conference play. Michigan will finish 15-5. MSU will be a 1 seed in next weekend's Big Ten tournament. Henry's inbound pass knocked out of bounds by Eli Brooks. Henry going to inbound again. Gets it into McQuaid. McQuaid went along the sideline. He was fouled by Brandon Johns. Third for him. 49.3 to go.
Matt McQuaid at the line for Michigan State. He's shooting 2 with a double bonus.
$73-63. McQuaid's first free throw does not go. Spartans are 21 of 27 from the free throw line today. Michigan just 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Take that for what you will. McQuaid's second free throw does go. It's back to 11. DeJulius bringing it up the court quickly, hands it off to Poole. Poole looking to get a shot off, drives in. Poole has his layup blocked by Xavier Tillman. .40 seconds left to go. DeJulius inbounds it to Isaiah Livers. Michigan needs to go quickly. Livers, tough three-pointer, no good, doesn't even hit the rim. Henry comes up with it. Fouled by David DeJulius. The Spartan crowd is on their feet. Seniors Matt McQuaid and Kenny Goins going to go out with a huge victory over their rival. Excellent careers for both of them. The Wolverines, of course, have no seniors. Austin Davis going to check in for Michigan. Henry does not make the free throw.
51, Austin Davis.
Adrian Nunez also going to check in for the Wolverines. Livers and Poole head of the bench, so it's all bench players now out there for Michigan. Meanwhile, Michigan State still has their starters out there. Henry does make the second. It's 75-63. Just over 30 seconds to go. DeJulius working against Tillman. DeJulius step back, tough jumper, no good. Rebound Goins. Winston's going to be able to dribble the clock out.
Probably going to take a timeout to get the subs in here, though.
Timeout Michigan State, and they're going to let Kenny Goins and Matt McQuaid, the two seniors, get a standing ovation.
Connor George checking in for the Spartans. He replaces number 20, Matt McQuaid.
Matt McQuaid kisses the Spartan logo at midcourt. McQuaid 9 points, 3 rebounds in his final game. Kenny Goins will do the same. Goins 9 points, all coming on three-pointers, but 16 rebounds for the senior. An excellent game for him. A hug from Tom Izzo. I think Cassius Winston actually stepped out of bounds out there. So it's the last possession of the game to Julia. Kicks to the corner. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound for Michigan State. Winston holds on to it. And Michigan State wins it. They improve to 25-6. They win the Big Ten Conference. They'll split the title with Purdue. They'll be the 1 seed next week. Michigan drops to 26-5. They'll be the 3 seed next weekend in Chicago. A season sweep for Michigan State of their rivals, and a tough way to go out for Beeline's Wolverines. Just couldn't get it done today. Weren't grabbing rebounds. Nothing going in the second half.
Sure didn't. And the rebounds are the story of this game. Of course, not having Charles Matthews doesn't help Michigan on the boards, but really there's no excuse. To have Goins go out there and get 16 rebounds, that's just a guy working harder than everybody else on the team. There's not enough boxing out, not enough hustle from this team, and well, they didn't play well enough to win a share of the Big Ten championship, and that's why they're not walking away with one here today.
Ignas Bresde gives a game-high 20 points for the Wolverines, but Cassius Winston 23 and 7 for the Spartans. Xavier Tillman had 17, 6, and 4 blocks, and Kenny Goins 9 points, 16 rebounds for the Spartans. Michigan State wins by a final of 75-63. We will see you in Chicago for the Big Ten Tournament next weekend.
One silver lining to go out on, as our research department, Daniel Thompson, has let us know here at WCBN that Michigan has never made the Final Four after winning a regular season Big Ten title. So take that how you will.
Still much to play for the Wolverines. They've won for us for Breslin, Nate Sorensen. It was a tough day for the Wolverines, a great day for the Spartans, but either way, good night and go blue.